Hey, Javier, how are you?
Good. How are you, man?
I've been a real big fan of your work. You've been doing awesome work with what you do. Big
Hey,
admiration of what you do.
good. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you guys having me on here. It's an honor, and I really hope that everyone that's watching, they get a lot of inspiration and, just go through with it. You starting from where you started, I'm sure it wasn't very easy, but you put in the hard work and everything to learn, and that's just how it is. This isn't something that's from one day to the next. It does take many years of dedication. You got to put your sweat equity in it and everything. So everybody out there that's watching, keep going, keep grinding, and do what you love. The outcome is there, and you guys will do great doing it. Just don't quit.
All right. So let's dig in. So basically, just we'd like to know more about you, more about your work, more about interesting on you, where you came from. How do you get into this business? So first, let's get started. Who is Javier?
Oh, all right, good. Well, with my background, I was a big into consumer electronics. So I used to do importing and drop shipping with Amazon FBA. So with that led me out to one of the conventions that I went out in Hong Kong. It's a big trade fair for consumer electronics called HKTDC. So I was out there, walking through the booths, and I ran into this technology. They were there, they were refurbishing Apple screens, they had Samsung screens and everything like that. So that is how I got introduced into the technology. And then me being a business owner, entrepreneur, I saw an opportunity with this. So I said, hey, you know what? This is something that is going to be the future. And I want to bring this back to my hometown. And I basically flipped my whole business from, drop shipping, e-commerce to now all full-fledged phone repair, refurbishing, and, retail location and everything. So that is pretty much the starting point on that.
Okay, but before what you were doing before, so you were doing drop shipping, but before that you were in technology as well, or just?
Yes, yeah. Prior to the phones, I was into consumer electronics. I would import like tech gadgets, like gimbals. I used to drop ship Bitcoin miners back in 2015. So from there, I would basically set up links on eBay, and people would purchase, and I would put orders in, and basically have them drop shipped from Hong Kong or Shenzhen, where they were coming from, to people all over the world. I had buyers in Turkey and everywhere, like Bahrain and all over the world. They would buy these Bitcoin machines. So that was kind of like the first real drop shipping and business that got me from there. And then from there, I started doing laptop computers, like action cameras and all that. So, and then prior to that, I was in the wireless industry. So I do have a wireless background. I was with Verizon for about 6 to 7 years. So prior to that, I was in the retail corporate world doing sales, customer service. And of course, there was always technical questions, which me having a technical background, I'm tech savvy, I was able to assist and just grow from there, So there's a lot of different chapters that I've developed, and I've learned, and I've growth, and I've been able to use all those skills to get me to where I'm at today.
Excellent. So at the beginning, how difficult was to start your first business or move to drop shipping to put a physical location? How difficult was that transition?
It was really difficult because my drop shipping, I was able to work from home. As long as I had internet access, I can search the internet and everything like that. And then later on, the traditional transferring over to a retail, it was a bigger stepping stone, because I didn't have the funding to have a location just to go, all right, I'm going to buy a building and move in there, and here we go, retail. So we started mobily. We started with the little van. We had the van, I did everything. I set up Google listings, did all the SEO created a website, and did everything so people would find us, and we would drive out to our customers on site in our little transit van, fix the phones, give it to them, and, give them 100% customer satisfaction. Me being with retail, I've learned a lot with satisfaction on customers, and you want to keep everybody happy. So we started mobily, and then from there, it was just like, man, our volume's getting up. We got to get out of our little house. We had a little house and one bedroom where we did the repairs. So I started looking for a location. We found a great location here in Las Cruces, and nice prime area, and the rest is history. So we're here now, and through platforms like YouTube, Instagram, using all these platforms, we've been able to reach out to consumers, and that opened up a whole new, like mail-in repairs. So now customers mail in their phones to us from all over the U.S.
Oh yeah, that's great. So I like to hear. I see you start mobile. So many of us, we get into that fear of, if I want to start a business, I want a physical location. If I want a business, I want to have these tools and that tools, and knowing you, seeing you work that you do, and knowing that now that you start mobile is wow. So everybody can do it. This is not a budget thing.
Yes, it is. And it is always a budget. You always want to have a forecast and have make sure that you're not going to be spending more money than what you can, especially in the startup, because the startup is like the most difficult part is you got to make sure that you spread your dollar as far as it can go, because if not, then you'll end up, being knee or water, and then you'll burn yourself out trying to, keep up with it. So, but for all of you guys out there wanting to start it, you can start it in your spare room, in your own room. All you need is a little desk. You don't need much. Desk, a little bit of tools, some plates, and you can start learning and, set up ads on Craigslist. There's different marketplaces we can advertise for free, and the people will come. Cell phones right now, it's a $1 billion industry. So, it's 4 billions and it's getting bigger. And then now with the phones going up in price, they're just expensive. So that brings a whole new recycling. You get the old phones and hand them down, and they're still great, So lots of opportunity, if you enjoy it, do it and have fun with it. The end of it is you just want to have fun with what you're doing and just enjoy it.
That's absolutely great. So in the beginnings, I want to take you there so that way people that are starting, they know it's a process. You didn't start fixing glass only, right? Or you did start fixing glass only, refurbishing?
Not at all. We were doing like the traditional repair shops where they do the LCD swaps. That was what I knew. Like when I was first repairing, when I broke my phone, and I wanted to fix it myself. I was like, hey, okay, cool. You can buy the part on eBay or wherever you want to get it and swap it out. But then as the technology started getting more advanced, it's not cheap, especially for Samsungs. They own the technology rights. That OLED, that's Samsung. You're not going to get a Chinese knockoff on there. So there's no aftermarket parts for Samsungs. There's one part. As long as that OLED's good, the glass is broken. The glass is, if you have the technique and the trade, you can get that off and use your same OLED panel, which is, I call it black gold. It's a black OLED, which, it's worth some money. So just polish it off and let's get it back up and running. So then it'll last. So traditionally I did start just doing LCD swaps, and with that kind of opened up when I saw that in Hong Kong. So that just opened my eyes to see like, hey, there's actually layers on here. These are like sandwiches. If you want to take that meat out, you got to take it off and then just put another layer on top of it and you're good.
So how long you been doing cell phone repairs?
Cell phone repair, we're going on 5 years. So we started in 2016. So 2016, and we're here 2021. Things have been going great, and everything's just going good.
So in 2016 you start doing cell phone repairs and swapping big parts. Like most of regular pawn shops do, right?
Correct. Well, you know what? No, because when I really got into this, we started doing refurbishing. But in my past, I had experience with fixing some phones doing LCD swaps. Okay. But in 2016, we were strictly refurbishing. I bought all the equipment, I bought all the machines, and I said, hey, we're going to do it, and we're going to refurbish. Because so right away, we were all full 100% refurbishing when we started.
So right when you opened your first location, you were refurbishing, right?
Refurbishing. We were trying to learn how to refurbish. We were in the process of learning our skills, figuring out how to, remove the glass, how to clean the OLED from the OLEDs, and it was still something that we were doing, but we were swapping them out, and then we would get the good OEM screens, and from those cores we would start refurbishing, and that's how we picked up our craft and our trade and learned from our mistakes.
So do you went to some trainings, or you basically by doing it?
Yes. Yes and no. I first started off, YouTube videos, just watching people do it, just to figure out the just to see the technique and what needs to be done. But the thing is, what helped me the best was getting trained. You got to go. I mean, it's you can learn some things, but there's a lot of things that you need to have a master watching you and making sure you're doing everything correctly. Because, you could put a little bit too much pressure that it's hard to see visually. You got to see it, physically here. So, but yeah, I mean, I did get trained after a year of us trying to learn by ourselves. I did end up going to Hong Kong and I got trained.
Oh, wow. So how long does that training took you?
I took 2 weeks of training out there. So from there, I was able to master like the Oka cleaning process and the cleaning of the OLED panel. And then from there, we were able to, get everything laminated. Because laminating and all that, that's an easier step. It's the most critical part is taking the glass off. And then, of course, the cleaning process of the Oka.
Oh, wow. So you've been in business for about 5 years. You're doing great. How was last year? How was last year with all these? Last
year was great. You know what? We had a really great year. It was crazy with the pandemic. But the thing is, we had our website and everything set up for mail-in orders. So, customers would just click on a link, they get a quote. If they want to move forward, fill out a form, we email them a prepaid label. And, our numbers year over year have grown. We're like at about a 30% year over year growth right now. So, and it's just, I believe we're going to just keep on growing as a company and a business.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's great. That's what business should do. Grow and expand.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, when you were fixing phones, when you were deciding, what took you to decide on going refurbishing instead of micro soldering, or just upping a chain of different software repairs?
Different repairs. I just did some research and personal research. I saw that, your phones are being dropped more than anything. We have our phones with us and, it's going to break and it's glass. So I just decided to go that route because a lot of the stuff that I was seeing was cracked screens, so that was just one thing that I just went in on and we've been doing great with that. So soldering is another deal that I do want to get into, but that's a lot more intricate. So what you guys are doing over there is fantastic. The micro solder work and all that. That is a lot of intricate work where you guys need to know exactly what you're doing, which is amazing.
No, when I see you, I'm seeing the same thing. I'm seeing amazing. I'm seeing, wow. I mean, how that layer of, it's just paper layer. Looks like they moves everywhere. Yeah. And it's amazing what you do. Amazing, real admiration of your work.
Thank you.
So when you opened your first shop, how many hours you were working? You were working just a regular employee, 8 hours?
Every day. I was working every day, all the time. I wouldn't go I'd be up working on phones. I'd be going to sleep, like 9, 10, learning how to do it. So getting started, I put a lot of sweat equity in getting started. And it's not something where you just go dabble in for an hour or two and then let it go. I was in there working. And then once I figured out a good process, then that's when I went ahead and advanced and then hired technicians and trained them on what I knew on how to get this done, which has been even easier because you're able to delegate, instead of you being in the trenches, you're able to share that with other technicians that help out with that.
Yeah, for sure. So how many employees do you currently have?
Currently, right now, we have 5 employees. We have an administrator, we have 3 technicians, and then I have another video crew that does all our videos and our marketing department as well. So, we have a full wide spectrum right now and slowly adding more in as we need to.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, because sometimes work, it just gets overload and it gets frustrating of knowing what to do.
It is. And then us being the owners, there's a lot of back end stuff that you really don't see. We have to take care of all the mortgages and bills, everything comes in and the new technology, me being a master, I have to, go and experiment with the new devices that are coming out and then get on them as soon as we can so that we're already ahead of the competition and I'm able to train my guys on how they do it and we run with it successfully.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. That's excellent. So another thing, so once So first you were doing drop shipping, then you move to doing cell phone repairs. Got that van, start working on from home, mobile, and they moved to a physical location. How another business you get into it making YouTube videos, because it's just another thing to do if you want to do it successful.
You know, I just like to stay busy, and it's funny because in my college marketing class, you know, we made a commercial, so I got really into videos. So I started learning like the Adobe platforms, the Premiere, Illustrator, Photoshop. So I picked that up. You know, I did a little bit of dabbling that in college. So it's funny, like I mentioned earlier, how everything just comes back from what you learn. So I just wanted to share with everybody, you know, the technology and what we do, and then the YouTube channel. Just, you know, from there, you're just like, man, we got a lot of great positive response, which I'm grateful for all you YouTubers out there that have subscribed and checked this out. So without you guys, I mean, we wouldn't be here. So thank you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing work. I'm sure that's why they subscribe, because when they find out about you, it's just difficult not to see you. It's just
thank you.
Because you make the work look because you make the work look so easy. It's like, man, I think I want to try it.
It's finessing it. It's many times of messing up, guys. All right, it doesn't look, you know, it's taken a lot of mess ups to get to where we're at. So don't get discouraged. Anyone that's out there wanting to do it, you're gonna fail. You know, I mean, but you know, you fail and then you learn from all those mistakes. You know, it's just part of growth and building as a person.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. I think in any business is part of the business.
Yeah, and trust me, I failed a lot. I've thrown a lot of money away, but I'm here now. So, you know, I've learned from my mistakes, and we're all going to learn as a person, as people. You learn.
Yeah. Tell us something that you break at the beginning that you still remember, that thing when it cracked. And because like me, I remember starting doing micro soldering and just the device is not turning on anymore. So, and I can just recall that moment. It's like, man, that was a big one.
Yeah. Well, for us, you know, the biggest challenge, the hurdle that we had was the cleaning, you know, losing touch. You know, touch was critical on these, because once you lose the touch, you're pretty much done. You cannot do anything on it. In the back day, with the S7 edge days, S6 edge days, when we started doing this, you could replace the touch. There's a different touch panel. You could get a flex bond and fix it. But that was where our hurdle was we didn't know the process on how to clean and how to handle it. We were putting too much force on it, too much liquid on it. And, you know, these guys are very, very delicate. So it's just, you know, you just got to have a notebook, write down what you're doing. And that way you know what you did and you don't repeat that mistake, and you just minimize it. Because, you know, if you're not keeping tabs of what you're doing, then, you know, you're going to keep repeating these mistakes. And you guys know, I mean, you could see these OLED panels for sale. They're not cheap. You know, you're going to be spending $300-$400 for a, you know, Note 20 screen. So it's just not worth it. But in the end, the reward is definitely worth it once you get everything down.
How do you train yourself on these new devices that I mean, they're coming out so many at a time?
Well, the good thing is the technology on them, like the digitizers and everything, they're all very, very similar. You know, they're going to change very, very little. It's not going to be a big change. You just got to know where to handle them, where the sensitive points are, the flex cables on the back. Don't use a lot of liquid, and you know, but for the most part, like I said, they're going to be all really, really similar. You know, the only ones that we've seen that were a little more delicate were like the S20s. You know, they have a thinner polarizer, so removing the glass, you know, we were getting underneath the polarizer and basically clipping it, which was not good. But after we figured out the right temperatures and everything that worked good with them, it just ended up working better. So there's always experimentation.
Of course, yeah, for sure. So, and I see most of your videos you do Samsungs, right?
Samsung, oh yeah.
Why Samsungs? Why not iPods? Why not Apple Watches?
We do Apple Watches too. Yeah, Apple Watches we do. iPods we don't do. We do iPads. I want to later get into like the newer iPad Pro versions. We do have this machine here that does up to 10 inches. But the thing is, I don't know, the market for Samsungs is huge, you know, because if you call anywhere, they're going to quote you $300-$400 for repair. You know, you call us, we're going to be, you know, 100 plus right there. So, you know, I mean,
there's no way you can compete with that. No
No.
way.
So, and you're getting your same phone. You don't have to worry about getting a refurbished phone, transferring your data, going through all the headaches, changing your apps. It's just becomes too much work. I mean, me personally, I hate getting a new phone because I have to download my apps, I have to download all my WhatsApp, all my business contacts. It's a mess. So I try to ride my phone as long as I can.
So, and in your physical location, do you have walk-ins or just it's all mail-in?
Yeah. Walk-ins. We have a full retail location where customers walk in. Of course, any customers that do walk in, those are expedited. We help them out same day. So they're in and out within 30 minutes up to 2 hours, depending what kind of phone it is. And then the mail-ins, we'll put those in queue and we prioritize them on our downtime and get them out. So, but turnaround time on the business mail-ins, it's not too bad. It's about 2 to 3 business days.
All right. Wow. So how many full-times do you have? All full-times?
All part-time employees.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're all part-time. They're all college students. I have a mechanical engineer, another engineer, and another artist, and a lot of different variety, which helps out with everything. So I got a pretty well-rounded team, which I'm grateful for.
Yeah, that's great. So how long normally, or once you start training somebody, will take so the way don't break as 20 or no 20? How long does that process take until you say, you know what, I think you can do it?
I'd say a couple weeks with the right training, everything, a few weeks. If you do a good full-time training for, a week or two, they can get everything down. Like we just hired a technician just a few months ago, and he's, well above. He's already refurbishing the iPhone 11 Pros, 10s Maxes, and he went in and he got everything down. So it's just all about the training. If you have the right training, the right teacher to show you, then you're going to minimize all those risks and the errors. So it's good to get the right master to help you train.
Have you thought about doing training, or you do training?
Yeah.
You do
yes,
training?
Of course. Yeah, we actually do offer online training. We have our courses on Podia. So, you can purchase our courses where we do glass replacements on the Samsungs. And and then if people need any like consulting, I do help consult as well. I have many people that I've helped out from Poland, from Mexico that, I've been able to, get them up and running. And I see what they're doing. I say, hey, this is what you're doing. It's too cold. You got to heat it up, or you're not using this. Something is wrong. So, I do consulting and help people out, because most of the times people have already learned stuff. You just get stuck at a point. So when you're able to just see what you're at, what they're doing, then, they may not need a training. They just need a one-on-one consultation on what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Especially the little tiny things that sometimes you messed it up. It's not the big things.
Yes.
Right. So, but do you do trainings on person on your location?
On site, yeah. We're open for on-site training. If anyone wants to come down, we're totally open for it. We have the space for it. We have a 1,200 square foot location that can handle pretty much anyone that wants to come down. So I do recommend hands-on training, of course, because you'll get a little more thorough, and it's hands-on. You're not watching something on a monitor, a text comes in or something, you get distracted, you know how it is. So when you're here, you're in the trenches, you're grinding, and you're refurbishing and fixing. So
when you were a kid, would you imagine your life being like this, much better, or a little less?
Never, honestly, as a kid, I've always been ambitious and wanting big things. I would have thought I am where I'm at right now. And it's just a blessing to be here, But I knew growing up that I had a lot of, determination and drive, and wanted to do my own thing. And this is just something that I ended up, enjoying and falling into, thanks to my technical background, which my dad, he's a technician by trade. So, he used to take things apart, put things together, and he's Mr. Fix-It. My dad is the real Mr. Fix-It. So, with me having him as a mentor, seeing what he does, is just, was able to help me and say, hey, you know what? Everything's fixable. You could fix anything. You just got to get to it and do it.
Yeah, that's for sure. How does Mr. Phone came to that?
Mr. Phone Doctor?
Uh-huh.
Like the name or
Correct. How do you come up with that name?
With the name? Honestly, we did a lot of searching. We searched the internet, and me being like with the websites and this and that, I wanted to find something that had a domain that was available. So this one had a domain, and I had a list of different domains on there, and this one was the one that we branded. You know, we trademarked it, branded it, and we're here right now, MrPhoneDoctor.com. It's nationwide, worldwide. You guys can find us all over. So
yeah. I mean, it's great. It's great content that you put out there. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
So, what are the plans? What are you planning? You planning to do more more training, more locations? What do you think is coming out for the future?
I'd say trainings. I want to get more into the online video trainings. You know, get more in depth on you know, refurbishing and everything like that. And of course, panels. There's a lot of conferences and expos that are out there. So I want to get a little more affiliated and be able to share, you know, my experience and, you know, like just be like a mentor to others, give inspiration, kind of like what we're doing here, you know, be able to like hold a panel and answer questions with people that are starting up or, you know, just needed to get that extra drive.
Yeah. I mean, that's fantastic because that's mainly of our thing, you know, somebody to tell us, hey, it can be done. You just got to try it one more time. Because we get afraid of breaking one thing, and then we just like, I don't want to try it no more. At least that's what happened to me.
You get discouraged, but you know, and then that one time that you just try it, and then you get it done, you get that feeling, and then once you get that feeling, you're like, oh man, this is just so awesome, I did it.
I know.
Then, all right, bring on another one. Let's go, get the other one in here. Let's get it. And then from there, it's just
you get
like
that momentum.
It's just like it's honestly like a big euphoric moment. You just enjoy it, you know. It's that feeling of success, which is good.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I don't want to take a lot of your time. I know you have a lot of phones to fix. You are really inspiration to many, and to me, for sure, you're a big fan. I'm a big fan of you. So thank you for chatting with us. I know some big things are coming your way because you're doing great content, and hopefully we can chat more again in the future. And probably in person, so that way we can get a better.
Yes. Now that all the Corona and everything's going by, we got to do a collaboration. You know, we got to get together and do more of these videos. And I'm grateful for you having me. You know, it's an honor. So thank you for having me. If anybody wants to get in contact with me, you guys can reach us. You know, at MrPhoneDoctor.com. Or you can find us on all the social media platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. TikToks has been fun. You can check us out there. We've been pretty active on there lately. Our YouTube is kind of like, oh, we're going TikTok, but you know, we're trying to bounce around. But our handles on all those there at Mr. Phone Doctor. You guys can check us out.
Yeah. And we're gonna put them up here on the bottom. So if anybody has a broken screen, just contact Javier. He's the best. I'm telling you, guys. He's the best. I mean, he's do it like butter. I mean, you can see it on phones taking glass out. It's like, I mean, it's like
still, baby smooth, still just like.
Correct. Yeah. You're awesome. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your time. We really appreciate your generosity, and thank you so much.
Well, thank you. Back to you, and let's do another one soon. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. We're doing another one. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.